Order up. Order up. Order up. Order up. Order up.
Stop! How dare you trespass here? You shall pay for your insolence. Snow Princess. You may pass.
I'm starting to get really cold. Oh my gosh. It looks like someone came in here and just wrecked everything, including the fishing gear. So much for catching a 2-foot northern pike. Left behind by whoever trashed this place, maybe? 202-555-7237. That's a U.S. phone number. I'm starting to get really cold. Much better. I was really cold. Somebody left me a note.
What you need?
Someone went into the ice fishing shack and ruined all of Bill Kessler's equipment.
Probably some animal-loving eco-fanatic who figured it was time to save the fish.
You don't by any chance have a hook and line I could borrow, do you?
Say no more. There's my tackle box. It's all yours. Kessler tried to rope me into competing with him, but I can't very well do that when you've got my hook and line now, can I?
No, I don't suppose you can.
What else do you want?
That's all the questions I had.
Good.
Stop! You cannot pass until you have proven yourself in battle. You win! Bombs away! Whenever you're really cold, just squeeze the toasty pack and you'll get a burst of heat. It only works when you're already cold, and you can only use one toasty pack at a time.
It is really, really cold out here. Wrong again. There we go, a 2-foot northern pike. No more fishing for me. Oh my gosh! Whoever threw that ice ball at me must have set off an explosion that shattered the ice. And my jacket's gone. No wonder I'm so cold. A coat. I need to make it to shore by jumping from ice floe to ice floe and put on that coat before I freeze to death. I don't know whose this is or why that wolf left it here, but at least now I won't freeze to death. Ah, much better. I was really cold. There's a note in one of the pockets. Since I can't go back the way I came, maybe these tracks will lead me to shelter. Avalanche Ridge. Ugh, not exactly reassuring. Ski tracks, probably Yanni's. I bet if I follow them, I'll wind up back at the lodge. I can't stop shivering. I need to get in and out of the cold, like, soon. Ah, warm again.
A non-profit organization dedicated to making sure that the wild animals of North America remain wild. No one can take your call at the moment because all of our volunteer staff is busy blocking access to California's wilderness areas in order to protect their cougar, bear, and condor populations. But if you leave your name and number after the beep, someone will eventually get back to you. Especially if you want to make a donation.
Yes?
Do you want a book about birds of the Southwest?
I might. Why do you ask?
Because I found a piece of a book cover in the fishing shack, and since it was about birds, I wondered if it was yours.
No. It's not from any book I have. I've never been in the ice fishing shack, so how could it be?
Well, I'd better stop bugging you and get to work.
Au revoir.
Is this yours?
What, that bullet? Don't be silly. Why would I be carrying ammunition around?
Then where'd it come from?
It was probably lying there on the floor all along, and you just happened to kick it into view, that's all. This did used to be a hunting lodge, dear. I wouldn't worry about it.
You used that bullet I found on the floor to alter the sights on Ollie Randall's rifle, didn't you?
What? That's so ridiculous. It's laughable.
You did it because you're a member of Run and Grow Free, and you're trying to protect the wolf at any cost, aren't you?
Look at me. Do I really look like some kind of wildlife fanatic?
I never judge books by their covers, Miss Camillo. Look, I don't want to see anything happen to that wolf either. If you belong to Run and Grow Free, just tell me. I'm good at keeping secrets, believe me.
You're right. I am a member of Run and Grow Free. I did make sure that brute would miss if he took a shot at the wolf, and I will do whatever it takes to protect that beautiful creature.
So, you're here undercover?
Yes.
What else have you done to protect the wolf?
That's all I'm going to tell you, Nancy. And if you really are concerned about the wolf's welfare, you won't repeat any of this to anyone.
Nancy, hi! What the heck happened out there?
What do you mean?
What do you mean, what do I mean? I walked out to Icicle Lake to see how you were doing in the fishing shack, only there wasn't any fishing shack. There wasn't even a lake. The ice was all busted up like somebody dropped a bomb on it.
All I know is, after I caught that 2-foot northern pike, I walked outside and someone knocked me unconscious with an ice ball. The next thing I knew, there was an explosion and I was on an ice floe in the middle of the lake with no coat and no fish.
Somebody decked you with an ice ball, then blew up the lake? Holy moly!
Probably you. Couldn't stand the thought of losing to a girl.
Har har. The good news is you're okay. The bad news? No more ice fishing.
I'd better get going.
Drop by anytime.
I'm glad for the chance to talk once again. There is something I must explain.
By all means, explain away.
What I said before about wolves. It is because my grandmother was killed by wolves. Killed and devoured.
Are you serious?
Years ago, when my mother was a little girl, her mother, my grandmother, was on her way back from the village on her motor scooter, which was and still is the only means of transportation most Fredonians can afford. It was January, and the sun had just set, and it was dark, very cold. There were thousands of wolves in the countryside that winter. At night they would roam in huge, hungry packs. My grandmother was halfway home when she came upon a young man waving from the side of the road for her to stop. He too had been on a scooter, but his had broken down, and wolves were gathering all around him, preparing to attack. My grandmother, of course, stopped, and he leapt on behind her, and they took off down the road with the wolves, dozens of them, chasing after them. But with 2 people riding it, her scooter was slow, much too slow, and the wolves soon caught up with them. And when one of the wolves seized my grandmother's boot in its teeth and started to pull, instead of helping her, the man pushed her off the bike. It instantly gained speed and he got away. My grandmother, set upon by the wolves, did not.
That's terrible.
Tormented by guilt, the young man eventually confessed. He went to prison for several years, and the wolves were hunted year-round until the countryside was rid of them. But the damage was done. And so, I'm happy to talk to you about any subject except wolves. About them, I have nothing to say.
Ever see Lou Talbot when you're out there training?
The college student? Just yesterday I had to slow down to avoid colliding with him. It ruined my whole session.
I've disturbed you long enough.
It has been a pleasure.